Hi everybody. As you probably know if you're watching this, I write a fan fiction called West City Public Library that is a real-world Dragon Ball AU, or alternate universe, that takes place in a public library. So it's been a couple of years since I started writing this fanfic, which is super weird to me, but I've never done up any kind of a mock-up or anything of the place. So I made one in The Sims 4, and basically took some screenshots, and I'm gonna show them to you and tell you about them. I tried recording myself, just recording an actual video, but my computer hates doing that, so it didn't work. Anyways, so yeah, let's get started. Here is the outside of the building, just the front of the building. And here is the back of the building. So we've got some nice places to sit, some lovely benches, some nice scenery. We've got some beautiful flowers here. Android 16, or as he's known in this universe, Lazarite, is in charge of keeping those all fancy and weeded and watered and all that good stuff. That's his job, because he's the maintenance guy for the building, so he has to make sure everything looks spick and span and all that stuff at all times. So that's his job. So this here is a bird bath, and we are pretending that this bird bath is a bird feeder because there is no bird feeder in The Sims 4, so we're making do with a bird bath. The bird feeder is also Lazarite's job to deal with, since it was put in at his insistence, and he said he would take care of it. Basically, he was just like, "Hey, can I have some pet birds?" And Bulma was like, "Well, I mean, as long as you take care of them, sure." Is essentially what happened, but not really. Yeah, he just maintains that he keeps an eye on it. He spends a lot of his breaks out here, checking on the feeder and seeing what kinds of stray animals are around, and usually feeding them. Usually Android 17 or Lapis has to go find him because he forgets to come back from his break. So over on this side of our little outdoor patio, we have a chess table, because The Sims 4 will not let you save a lot as a library if you don't have a chess table. They have a specific list of criteria to classify something as a library, and one of them is you need to have a chess table. So there's a chess table now. Basically, it's just kind of for people who want to go out and sit down and have a nice little friendly game of chess. That's really all it's for. You may be wondering, Ed, what's that oven doing there? We're pretending that's an air conditioner unit, 'cause there isn't one. There's a lot of let's pretend this is this because that's what we've got. Just bear with me, you guys. Bear with me here. So here is our first floor. This is what you see when you walk into the library. It's a pretty nice first floor. Here we have the circulation department, as well as the children and youth services department, and the washrooms. So here we have the circulation desk and the circulation office. The circulation desk is the first thing you see on your right when you come into the library. This is the department that Tian, Chaozu, and Shu work in. Tian is the head of the department, and then Chaozu and Shu are basically, well, Chaozu is a clerical, and Shu is a page or a general assistant. So mostly what goes on in circulation is they do things like they check your books in, they check your books out, they do the hokey pokey, and they turn themselves around. That's what it's all about. Yeah, that's pretty much what they do. That's a lie. They'll also redirect you to various departments if you need to be redirected if you've gone to the wrong place. They put all the books away. They pull stuff for pick lists and held items. They usually end up doing a lot of general inquiry stuff as well, because people will they're often the first desk that people see, so they'll go in, so people will go in and be like, hey, can you tell me where such and such is, and they'll have to just redirect them to the right department. They also sign people up for library cards and whatnot. In the circulation office, there's a couple of those black things on the sides there. Those are coffee tables that we are going to pretend are library carts that are covered in books. So they fill those up, they bring them out to the stacks, and they put the stuff away. Don't ask me how they get them up the stairs. We're just going to pretend there's an elevator somewhere so that they can do the stuff on the second floor as well. I did not think this through. Also, there's no elevator in The Sims, and so I forgot to build one. Oops. We'll just pretend there's an elevator somewhere. This is an accessible building. They also have on the two tables in the back, one of the tables is just for sorting books and everything. The other one has some tablets that can be rented, or not rented, but borrowed. They can be checked out using the kiosk on the second floor for up to 2 hours. And you can come down and get your tablets from here. There's also this little barrel-looking thing, and that's under a window that is supposed to be the drop box. So that's where that is. This is also technically part of circulation as well. This is a staff-only kind of room. The 3 bookshelves basically are shelves that have held items, so patrons can go online using the online catalog, or they can book it through or go to one of the desk for the appropriate department. And if the book that they want isn't there, then they can put the book on hold so that when it comes back, they'll be the ones to get it. Some books have really long hold lists, like especially if they're super popular or they just came out or something, then some of them have super long hold lists. But anyway, so that's where they go. So they'll Tian or Chaozu will compile a list of items to be found, and usually Chaozu or Shu will go out and find all those books and bring them back and put them on these shelves. Then they'll have to send out a voice, like a phone call, pre-recorded message type thing, or an automated email to the patron saying, hey, your book's here, come to the library and get it. They'll come to the circulation desk, say, hey, I got a message saying my book is in, or whatever, and then they'll go get it for them. That's pretty much what that's for. The reason that they can't go in there and get it themselves is because it's also the stairs to the basement, and that's a staff-only area. Patrons are not allowed in the basement. Not for, like, any weird or creepy reasons, there's literally nothing for them down there. It's not a great place to be. These are just the washrooms. The far one is the men's washroom. The closer one is the women's washroom. They're just basic washrooms. In this game, in The Sims 3, they have actual bathroom stalls that you can put in, but in The Sims 4 they don't. So there's just 3 toilets just lined up there. That's fine. It's fine. It's good. But yeah, it's just a washroom, and they only have washrooms on the first floor, like patron washrooms on the first floor. That's where they are. There are no patron washrooms on the second floor. And this one is just the family washroom. It's kind of tucked away in the back corner of the children's department. It's not really that exciting. It's bigger. It's probably the most accessible one, even if you do have to kind of get to it. But yeah, all 3 of the washrooms, like the men's washroom, the women's washroom, and the accessible washroom, have these pictures of fruit hanging on the walls, and we're pretending that those are baby changing stations, because those are important and you need those, especially in the children's department. The family washroom also has like a toilet training potty thing, because there's a lot of little wee dudes who go there, and yeah, you need that. So yeah, family washroom tucked in the back corner. Oh, that one's also the gender neutral washroom, because this is a progressive place, as libraries tend to be. This here is the children's department, or the children and youth services department. Over here on the left, we've got the desk that that usually either Piccolo or Mai can be found at. Varies some occasionally. You'll find Celery, the college student there, but not often, as usually she's out in the stacks doing stuff or like helping run programs and whatever, because she's there for experience. She doesn't need to be on the desk very much. She's trying to get they're trying to give her as much experience with like actually doing stuff as possible, rather than just kind of having her sit at the desk and not do a whole lot, because there's not a whole lot she can do. Like the others can do lots of stuff, but for someone who's not a permanent employee, there's not a whole lot she can do. She's only there for a couple months. Anyway, so that's their desk. There's some bookshelves there, a whole bunch of bookshelves. Basically, just you got your picture books, your chapter books, your graphic novels, your nonfiction, just all of it. Teen and youth, and children's. Just all of it. All the stuff that goes on in the children's department. Basically, this is where it all goes down. So this is the Children Youth Services office. Usually they'll have one person on the desk and one person in the back or in the stacks or whatever. Mostly the computer in the back is for like putting together programs, making posters and all of that sort of thing. There are a few tablets in here as well that can be borrowed. Again, booked using the kiosk on the second floor. They're like child friendly. They have a lot of like educational apps and stuff like that. They're basically like what you'd find on a school iPad. They're meant to be used by young kids. However, they can only be borrowed by an adult. You can't use a children's library card to take them out unless you're over the age of 10. So you have to get your mom or dad to take it out for you, and you can only use it for a maximum of 2 hours. At the end of the day, every day, basically Mai has to go through them and like get rid of certain things and like check through and make sure that there's nothing inappropriate people have put on there, because people are jerks. All that good stuff. Same with the tablets in circulation as well, but usually Tien does that because he's the head of the department, and there's more gross stuff that happens on the circulation ones than there are on the children's ones, thankfully. But yeah, usually that's Mai's job. So yeah, this is basically where all like the planning and stuff and like any little quick department meetings will go in there. So this one is the children's program room. This is where pretty much all the a lot of the children's programs will be held. So like after school readers that Gohan, Videl, and Dende go to is held there. Most of the stuff for their summer reading program is held there. A lot of that sort of thing. And basically, if they need the kids all to be in like one confined space, then they'll put them there. Those 3 big stuffed animal things on the one side, those are supposed to be beanbag chairs because there's no beanbag chairs in this. But those are the beanbag chairs that Gohan, Videl, and Dende like to like steal and hide in the stacks with and everything. There's also there's some tables for like crafts and stuff. There's some bookshelves and some cabinets with like craft supplies. There's some chairs. There's some cushions and stuff. There's like a arts and crafts table that The Sims actually has like as a thing, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty much just that. I had fun decorating it. It's bright and colorful and fun, and I wish it was a little bigger, but what are you gonna do, you know? Okay, and here we have the second floor. So this is the floor that has the information services and readers advisory departments, and also the public use computers. So this is the readers advisory department. This is where Krillin and Namu work. Their job is if someone has anything they want to know about fiction, that's where they go. The readers advisory department basically covers all the adult fiction collections. Not like that. The Reader's Advisory Department, essentially anything to do with any of the adult fiction collections or any programs to do with adult fiction, except for the book club, the monthly book club, that is run by Yamcha over in Information Services. But other than that, it's all done through Reader's Advisory. This is the Information Services Department. This is where Yamcha and Pilaf work. Where Reader's Advisory is fiction, Information Services is nonfiction. So basically, they take care of the nonfiction collection, and also they run any fact-based programs, so things like tracking your family history, computer classes for seniors, how to apply for jobs, and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that Information Services does. So you can see the little desk with a computer on it right next to the stairs. That is the booking station. That is where you go to book one of the computers or the tablets that are for library public use. These here are the computers that you can book using the booking terminal. You already saw the tablets. They are downstairs in the circulation and children's services offices. These bookshelves along the back wall have magazines and DVDs and talking books. The two bookshelves on the left have the magazines. The bookshelf in the middle has the electronic books or the talking books, the books on CD, and the two shelves on the right have all the DVDs. This is the third floor of the library. The third floor is mostly just staff only, with the exception of the two meeting rooms, but for the most part it's staff only. We've got the staff room, we've got Jocko's office, Bulma's office, and the HR office. So this here is the staff room. You've got your basic kitchenette with a little stove in the corner, and you've got your microwave and your coffee maker and your fridge, some seating, a staff washroom, your basic amenities. People either come here or they go to Chi-Chi's Cafe for their breaks, 9 times out of 10. This room here in the middle with the stairs coming out of it is Jocko's office. I meant to put like a half wall around the stairs so people couldn't just like clamber into his office, but I forgot. Basically, he just he does all the filing, he does Bulma's paperwork, he does all the little administrative things that are necessary for the business part of running a library. He's in charge of that. He's also in charge of the booking system for the two boardrooms, the meeting rooms. These are the two meeting rooms. You can book them through Jocko by calling the library. Basically, any information services programs or Reader's Advisory programs are held in those two meeting rooms. So Yamcha and Krillin are often arguing over space. There are other things held there as well, like outside organizations can book them for meetings. The library board meets there once a month and all that sort of thing. Yamcha's book club that he runs is held there once a month, and that's the group of old ladies that ship him and Tien hardcore. This here on the right with the 3 bluish chairs is Bulma's office. It's pretty simple. She tries to keep it nice and clean and tidy. She has a very nice desk and a really nice chair because, of course, she does. Pretty much she does all her businessy things in there, and anytime anyone wants to talk to her, she's usually found in there. She doesn't really leave her office as much. Usually, before she got pregnant, she spent a lot of time like out in the library, but after she got pregnant, it was kind of not feasible to be always running around up and down the stairs and all that all the time, especially now that she's this far into her pregnancy. On the right here with the 5 gray chairs, we have the HR office, formerly occupied by Agnes, then by Cell, currently by Raccoon. This may or may not change over the course of the fic. I haven't decided yet. Basically, it's connected to Bulma's office with a door, but mostly that's just where things like sensitivity training are held, and they need that sensitivity training. Oftentimes, whoever's in HR and Jocko will also double as public relations. So anytime they need to deal with the public and Bulma doesn't need to get involved, it's between those two. So when Cell was there, Jocko was doing all of it. Alright, the last floor, this is the basement. This has the IT office, the security office, the technical services office, and the boiler room, as well as another staff washroom. So this here is the technical services office. This is the office that Vegeta, Raditz, and Nappa all work in, and it's actually also the office that, or the department that I used to work in when I worked at the public library. Technical services is basically where everything has to go through before it goes on the shelves. Everything gets processed here and cataloged here. Vegeta's the head of the department. He basically just kind of makes sure everything's running properly and gets all their ducks in a row and everything. Nappa is the head cataloger, and Raditz processes everything, which is actually what I used to do. This is just a basic staff washroom, and it's actually really depressing to look at because it's literally a sink and a toilet and a mirror, and that's it. It's not an exciting place. The basement is a really depressing place to work, and I'm so sorry to everyone that I put in there. This is the maintenance office slash boiler room. This is where Android 16 slash Lazarite works. We have Lazarite's desk, which is with his old clunker of a computer and some pictures of birds. We have a stove over on the one wall that we are pretending is the boiler or the furnace. We have there's a big old industrial laundry sink over on the one wall. Also, there's a bunch of shelves. It's kind of hard to see, but there are some shelves up there. If you need like spare batteries or whatever, this is where you go. Lazarite actually doesn't spend a whole lot of time here. Mostly he's out in the library fixing things or outside communing with nature because it's Android 16 and that's what he does. Over in this corner here, with the big poster on the wall, is the security office. It used to be basically a storage room before it got converted when they hired a security team. So Upa and Bora spent their time there. They've got a desk. There's a couple of tablets on the table next to the computer. You can't have more than one computer on a desk at a time in The Sims, so we have tablets there to pretend that we have multiple monitors. There's also a bookshelf over there that's meant to be a filing cabinet that has all the files on people who are banned, people to watch out for, stuff like that. They also put Upa put that poster up on the wall. It's his favorite movie. Alright, here we have the IT office. This is where Android 17 or Lapis and Android 18 or Lazuli work. They do spend most of their time there. Lapis's desk is the one on the left, Lazuli's is the one on the right. And pretty much they just kind of decorate their office space with whatever they've got. Lapis has his little bulletin board there. You can't see it, but Lazuli has some posters of sports stars and shoes on her side of the office. They aren't really all that busy for the most part. They just kind of make sure the Wi-Fi is running and answer any really, really stupid questions people ask them, and they get a lot of stupid questions in a day. Okay, that concludes our virtual tour of the West City Public Library. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's really all I've got to say at this point. Thank you for watching this video. I hope to do something similar with the Ox Cafe soon because I also made that in The Sims. So, yeah, I'm hoping you guys enjoyed this, and I hope to have another actual chapter of the Library AU out soon. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for enjoying the Library AU, this weird, wild, almost 2-year ride. I hope you guys have a good day/night, depending on where you are, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!